Hey everybody, welcome to your first post-exam week. Quick comment on that, everyone did really well. There was, a slight mistake here or there, but broadly speaking, I was very pleased with how everyone did. I hope you all didn't find that to be too traumatizing. So we're getting into the second third of the semester, if that makes sense. And what that means is we're switching off from what are tests, how are tests used, how should they be used, and all of that. And we're actually going to spend the next 3 weeks focusing on reliability. Remember, we've talked about reliability as consistency broadly with a measure. And you might be wondering, why are we spending 3 weeks on it? What we're going to do is we're going to do a really deep dive into what reliability is and why it's important beyond just something that you've heard of in a lot of classes as something we should have. So we're going to go really deep into it. This week, we're going to have a lab talking about how to do different types of reliability in SPSS. Next week, we have another lab on reliability, and 2 weeks from now, the third week of this module, we're going to have a lab on data cleaning. So, kind of keep that in mind. If you haven't yet, be ready to get your stuff up on Sona. So if you've picked your convergent and divergent scales, get them on up there, set your study live, make sure to use that little intro blurb I sent you in an email, and have your studies up. So that's kind of the broad, this is where we're going in the next few weeks. This week, like I said, reliability lab, so we'll do that in person and on Zoom, but synchronously, so make sure to log in for that. And in lecture, we're going to really dive, the first slide deck is about not really the math, but something like the theory and the logic behind how reliability works. Then the second big slide deck we'll have is different types of reliability. So the first one's a little more intensive in some ways, and the second one's more informational, if that makes sense. So you might look at the first slide deck and the first lecture or two and think, this seems like a lot. And I want to get out in front of that a little bit and reassure you that it's not really math. We're not doing calculus. We're kind of doing algebra, and then we're rearranging a few things, but I'll walk you through it. What I'd encourage you to do, more than for any other slide set that we're going through, is take notes along with it. We're using a lot of different symbols in this one, and I'd say take notes. I've got a slide in there defining what the symbols mean, but you're going to have to translate words to symbols and back for these things to make sense. Personally, I like this stuff a lot. I think it's cool to see how it works. It's kind of like getting under the hood of a car, right? And you're like, okay, the car works, but how does the sausage get made? Is it another analogy? So for this set, I'd encourage you, it's not just, here's this information, I'm gonna memorize it, or I need to basically understand it. This next set's gonna take a little more work, and I wanna tell you that up front. You're going to want to take notes alongside things, rewatch the videos, etc., to really get it. I know we have open book tests, but I want you, and the goal is to have you understand this stuff sort of front to back and feel comfortable. And I think you can do it. People have done it before, it's gone well. Some people find that they really, really like this stuff more than they thought. For those of you that are very logical thinkers and want to know the why behind things and how things work, this could actually be kind of fun. That might be overstating it, but I think it's cool stuff. I'm going to do my best to walk through it as logically as possible, and then I'm going to leave it up to you to go back, use your notes, rewatch till you really get it. So next 3 weeks is reliability. The first part, like I said, a little more technical. Second part is going to be just like, here's these different types of reliability, but it all works and it's all important. That's kind of the key. It might start to feel at first like, why are we learning this? But I promise it builds up to, here's cool things you can do with reliability, and here are some pretty major implications for it. So yeah, I'm excited for this next set. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in person or virtually in lab, and I'm pleased with how the exam went. So, I think we're in for a fun next set of things. We're going to hopefully now, project-wise, you should be collecting data or starting to collect data soon. We're going to let that sit for a little bit and focus on the class stuff and on reliability for the next little bit. So yeah, stay tuned for the videos. Let me know if you have questions. That's it. That's what I got for the intro for this week, folks. You'll see you all soon.